Listen, we finally found out why they call her Roulette. Your boy Dre lied about his daddy. He's locked up for murder. And it's Keyshawn gonna finally get away from Derek. And yeah, they don't just call him Little Murder because he got that rapper name. Let's go. Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for episode 8, P-Valley Season 2, and yeah, this episode was crazy. Yeah, episode 7 was good, but 8 definitely turned up. Your girl Miss Mississippi is back, and yeah, they don't call him Little Murder for nothing. We gonna break it all down. Your boy Pico fronted, and yeah, we see what happened to him, right? Check out all the episode recaps, and let's break this down. All right, so the name of this episode is The Death Drop, and it says, some folks across Chucalissa fight for what's theirs while others struggle to accept the things they can't change. So we start off in the Pank, and we see some shoes, and who is it? It's your girl Mercedes getting on that pole once again, and she's trying to do her tricks, and she looks like she's doing pretty good, right? She looks like she's doing all right, but she's looking at that shoulder again, right? And yeah, it looks like she's struggling a little bit. Like, is Mercedes finally healed? Is she going to make this thing happen again? I mean, you know, that whole Coach and Farrah thing didn't work out, but it looks like, nah, it doesn't look too good for Sadie's, man. I mean, she is definitely struggling, and she is totally frustrated with what's going on, totally upset, can't do it like she used to do it, and she knows it. You know, she was supposed to have her last dance last season, but yeah, this is not looking good for Sadie's. But here comes the Dark Knight, right? Looking like an Egyptian, I don't know, right? Egyptian mother coming in, talking about, you know, the rules in the pink, crying in the pink. And, Uncle Cliff is just like trying to encourage her and let her know that, hey, that's her bottom B, and she's going to be back and she's going to be fine. And she's just like, man, Mercedes is just real frustrated about a lot of things. But Uncle Clifford is always going to be there for her. Now we see Uncle Clifford. And Uncle Clifford got some skills with the clippers for real. Like putting like words in the back of people's heads and cutting heads and doing fades. Meanwhile, they waiting on the phone because they're calling the hospital to try to find out what happened to, grandmother Ernestine. They got this little, you know how you be listening, you be on hold. They got this little beat in the background. The beat be kind of hot and you be bopping to it. That's the kind of beat that was playing. So, they on hold, and, Uncle Cliff is like, did they answer? Did they answer? He's like, yo, they didn't answer. We called already. They didn't answer. So Uncle Cliff is like, where you going, with me all doing your hair like this? And he's like, nowhere, right? So they going back and forth talking about, yeah, who was you with? Was you with somebody? Was you with somebody? And da-da-da-da. And, Murder's just like, listen, if I was with somebody, I was protected, right? I was protected if I was with somebody. So they finally get on the phone. They like, calling for Ernestine Says, and they're like, listen, Miss Says, ain't nothing happened. You called 45 minutes ago. Everything's fine. No news is good news. Don't worry about it. And of course, Uncle Clifford is definitely worried about, grandmother Ernestine. So Uncle Cliff's about to leave, and he's like, where you going? And Uncle Cliff's like, nowhere. I'm going nowhere just like you, right? You don't want to tell me, I ain't going to tell you. Now we see Mercedes. She's running as she usually does with, her dog. And, Black and Miles sees sees your boy Maine and like, what's up, Black and Miles? So the dog goes over and she's like, what you doing, Black and Miles? Come here. And she sees your boy Maine, and she is happy to see your boy flexing on his bike. He's out from jail. Come to find out that, the coronavirus went through the jails and they had to get him up out of there before they all caught it, and it would be a terrible case. So he got out scot-free, even though he got an ankle bracelet. And she's happy to see him. And he's like, yeah, I'm happy to be home, the whole nine. And he's like, it's good to see your view. Good to see you. And she's like, yeah, I called you. And, she tried to call him, but it's hard for him to be talking up in there like that. So he's like, my shooter's going to be throwing me a party. Are you going to come through? She's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. And she's like, okay, well, can it be a date? He's like, is that going to be a date for me and you? She's like, I don't know. I got to move some things around. And your boy's like, yeah, I like when you move things around, with his little smooth lines or whatever. So Sadie's runs off, and yeah, Maine is definitely happy to see your girl. Hopefully he claps cheeks, but I don't think so. So now we up in the diner. We see your girl Haley sipping on some coffee, and Keyshawn comes through. Looks like they set up a meeting at the diner. You know what diner that is. It's Taffy's Diner, same spot where, Keyshawn had a first date with Derek. So, Haley's just like, yo, listen, we got to set this up. This is what I want to do. I want you to come back to the Pink, be the headliner. And she's like, I don't know about that. Derek ain't going to do it. And she's like, listen, tell Derek this is what's needed. It's going to be a big night, going to make a whole lot of money and everything else like that. And, she's just like, I'm going to give you all the money from the door, and you can take that money and go wherever you want with the kids. So, again, I'm Team Haley, and Haley's trying to look out for Keyshawn. You know what I mean? So she's like, all right, well, where you going to go? And she's like, well, I'm thinking about, and then Haley's like, see, you broke the cardinal rule. You're not supposed to tell anybody where you're going to leave off to, not even people that's helping you. So Keyshawn is like, yo, listen, I looked up, Haley Colton says she drowned. And Haley's like, well, and look right here. She's sitting right here drinking coffee with you. You see what's going on? So now the TV comes on and it's showing that your boy Dre lied about his father being dead. Come to find out, your boy Dre's dad is not dead. He's actually locked up for life for murder, right? In the North Mississippi Correctional Facility. It's like, man. So Dre lied, and yeah, Kyle Wayne is putting out all this dirt on Dre to tarnish, for his mayoral pursuit, right? So yeah, Corbin and them, they all looking at the TV and they seeing the same dirt smashing commercial about Dre and how he's lying, and we don't need liars to be the mayor of Chucalissa. So your boy Corbin goes in there, talks to the volunteers, and he's like, okay, can you leave? And like, well, we already did that. He's like, get the hell out, right? He is pissed off. He's like, Dre, when we started this campaign and I was funding it, and I said, I'm going to fund it, I needed to know everything. Why didn't you tell me? He's like, well, he was dead to me. As soon as he went up, he was dead to me. Like, what does it look like me saying that? Yeah, my father's in jail for murder. Put it on the post. He's like, what about your daddy? He's like, well, when you start funding my campaign, we'll talk about my daddy. So now they're talking about Pastor Woodbine and how she got arrested for assault, and is she really a Christian? They show footage of her and Mercedes going at it in front of that storefront, and she's just like, yeah, I did this, I pulled tricks, I did all this and that, da 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 da. But now I'm a pastor, and I'm trying to save you from all the sin coming up in your door, right? Like, it's hilarious, but she is admitting to what the commercial is saying. She's not fronting on anything, not fronting at all. And that's what, Corbin is like, hey, listen, at least she's owning her mess, right? And then Corbin walks out. Dre is pissed off about the whole thing. You know how it goes in politics. And Haley, after she saw the commercial, she's calling Dre, but Dre doesn't answer the phone. Dre's just trying to deal with it on his own because this is kind of crazy. Now we shoot over to Keyshawn, and she's washing dishes. And your boy Derek comes in, and he comes in with a shoe box from the shoe store, whatever. He says, listen, I've got you some shoes, try them on. He's trying to be nice, trying to be, this nice guy now, whatever. And he pulls out these ugly ass shoes. Derek, man, you got terrible taste. He's trying to put it on her feet, but again, they're size 7. She's like, they're too small. He's like, I thought it was size 7. He's like, listen, my feet spread after having 2 kids. And now he's hitting himself on the head like, I can't do nothing right. I can't do nothing right. I can't do nothing right. The dude is crazy. Like, he got mental problems, and we know this. And she's just looking at him like, yeah, this dude crazy. I don't know what I got myself about. He's like, listen, I'm a change, Keyshawn. I'm a change. I swear I'm a change. What you need me to do? Please don't leave me, girl. Please don't leave me. I'm a change for real. What you want to do? You want me to let you dance in the room again? And she's like, I don't want to dance in the room again. I don't want to dance in the room again, right? And he's like, you want to go back on tour? She's like, I don't want to dance on tour. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to dance on tour. No. And she's just waiting. And he's like, do you want to dance back at the Pink? And she's like, nodding her head like, yeah, I want to dance at the Pink. I want to dance at the Pink, right? And, you know, he's reluctant to let her dance at the pink, but he's trying to please her. And he's like, please don't leave me. I'll let you do whatever you want to do. And now he's begging and all this and that. But again, that's exactly what Keyshawn wanted. Wanted it to be his idea as far as her dancing at the pink again. So now Corbin is confronting Kyle, you know, Little Wayne Kyle, right? And he's like, man, that's low of you to do that. And he's like, man, it's crazy that you backing Dre and not backing me in this campaign. Like, we're going to split the votes 3 ways. And it looks like Pastor Woodbine is gaining on us and everything else like that. He's like, what are you doing this for? Just because I smashed your truck and just because, you know, our other brother threw you in the basement in the cellar and locked you in there? Like, listen, if we lose the casino and everything, it's going to be on you that we lose everything. So now we see this lady running the whole promised land thing, and she got Coke bottles in her head, and they in there laughing and joking. She talking about, I've been divorced and I've been trying to get the pool boy to poke me all this time. Look at them Coke cans in her head, right? So here comes Haley, and she's like, ma'am, you know, Shanae's shop is down the street. I think you in the wrong shop. And she's like, no, I'm in the right place. This is where I'm supposed to be, right? And then the lady's just like, yeah, this is where she's supposed to be. And she's like, yeah, so are you here to take me up on my offer? And she's like, not if it's 5 million. If it's 10 million, I'm going to take it. So, you know, she asked the ladies and her people to kind of leave so they can have a little meeting. And she pulls out her cigar and she's like, hey, listen, you better take my offer for 5 million. I'm telling you. And, you know, Haley's like, listen, this can't happen without me. It can't happen without the pink. She said, nah, it can't happen without the people. Now, they may not, you know, they may sign off where it doesn't go down. And then we just got to wait for another term to come around. But, basically she got more than enough money to wait for that to happen. The question is, does Haley have enough money or will make enough money with the pink? So she's like, you know what, if it ain't 10 million, I'm leaving. She's like, young lady, if you leave, the offer's going to be off the table. You're going to have to wait till election day. She's like, I'm going to see you at the polls, right? So Haley's standing her ground. We'll see what happens with that. Now, we are in the morgue, and we at the funeral home, and your boy, Wody, is taking care of Big Teak. Of course, Little Murder's there. He's like, man, you made him look like ain't nothing happened, man. He's like, yeah, that's our job. That's what we do, boy. That's what we do, Wody. And, you know, they just talking about how, you know, Wody took out Rome, and Little Murder's like, yo, you not God. And Wody's like, yo, we all gods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to take care of that. You don't got to worry about that. And he's like, yo, what happens if he already sent the video out of him and Big T? Wody's like, listen, man, just come out. I'll take care of it. I'll handle it. You know what I'm saying? I'll handle it. I just had to take him out. And yeah, we got to do what we got to do. You know, so Wody's just like, yo, if the video gets out, come on out. I'm going to handle it. Don't worry about it because I always handle stuff. Right? So Wody is just like, yo, you got to be the one that's coming out the mud, man. Like, why can't be you? Why can't be you to blow up for all of us? So now we back at the Pank, and yeah, Uncle Clifford is back and happy and got the good vibes. We got Duffy, we got Big L, you know, we got, yeah, Big Bone and your boy Diamond kissing all up in the booth and all this and that. And Uncle Clifford's like, I didn't know he smiled. And your boy Diamond's like, I heard that, Uncle Clifford. And Uncle Clifford's like, yeah, I meant for you to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Diamond, whatever. I see you over there. You know what I'm saying? He's slapping Big Bone's ass and the whole nine. And yeah, they just preparing for anything. And they worried about, you know, having people come through and at half capacity. And, you know, Uncle Clifford's on some like, listen, it don't matter because I got my bottom B here and she going to pack the house. It don't matter. We still going to get all this money. So he's trying to encourage, you know, Mercedes. And she's going to be the headliner, right? Supposedly. But Haley's like, hey, Mercedes, would love to see your routine, right? And Uncle Cliff was like, Uncle Cliff was still mad at Haley, right? And she just stands there and has Big Bone throwing some music. And she's like, is that your routine? Like, I want to see it. You know, she the boss now. So Mercedes go up there, do some crazy stuff on the poles. Like, what's going on? Roulette and Whisper, they looking on like, what the heck is this? And yeah, Uncle Cliff is looking with a little bit concerned because he knows the truth. So she tries to climb up that pole and she is struggling. She is definitely on the struggle bus. Can't get up the pole, has to go down, do some old crazy stretches. It's not looking good. And Haley's looking at Uncle Clifford like, for real? Like, are you serious? She supposed to be your bottom B. She supposed to be the one that's gonna be bringing all the money. And she like does a split and she's trying to do some extra stuff, but it's not looking good. She's knocking over like garbage cans and speakers and it's like crazy. It's just ridiculous. So Uncle Cliff is like, Big Bone, cut that music off, cut that music off. And Haley's like, listen, she's supposed to be our headliner and she's not ready. It's not looking good. And we supposed to open up real soon. And she's like, if you think, Whisper and Roulette going to be the headliner, she's like, nah, Whisper and Roulette is not going to be the headliner. They're the last people you need to worry about. And then boom, as soon as she walks in the door, boom, your girl Keyshawn, Miss Mississippi come through. And your boy Diamond is like, what the heck? He looking at her like he's seen a ghost. Because remember, she was showing up while him and Big Bone was having, doing their thing. So Uncle Clifford's like, no, you light-skinned heifer, like light-skinned bee, like you did not do that. And Roulette is like, yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Like, you see all the drama going on, and yeah, Miss Mississippi looking good, beautiful as ever. She's like, hey y'all, what's going on? That's right. Miss Mississippi is back in the building, and she's gonna be the headliner. So we got Whisper and Roulette, and they're like, oh, we so happy to see you. We wear your lashes and everything. She's like, oh, that's so cute. And all this and that, we really love you. Whisper's like, yo, I want to grow up to be just like you. Like it's crazy how they praising her. And even Roulette is on some like, yo, I wouldn't have known this move if it wasn't for you. So, they definitely showing love to Keyshawn, and she's loving it as well. And meanwhile, in the background, we hear Uncle Clifford and Haley, they are going at it. They're like, how could you do this? How could you bring it back in? And we could barely hear the argument, but they arguing about, Keyshawn being back. So Keyshawn gets back and she sees Mercedes. She sees Sadie's up in there. And Sadie's is like, welcome back. I see you. Right? And she's like, is my locker still, is my locker taken by somebody else? And Mercedes gives an attitude like, girl, you got some nerve asking if your locker is taken by somebody else, right? She's like, no, it's not taken by anybody else. And your vanity hasn't been taken by anybody else either. It's still there just for you, right? So she goes over to her vanity, kind of get prepared or whatever, clean herself up, looking at herself. And Sadie's is on some like, yeah, so funny to see you back here, right? Like, and Keyshawn's like, I can't believe I'm back. She's like, yeah, you back because you have to be, right? And she's like, yeah. And she look at her face. She's like, yeah, I got to be back. Like, she has no other choice. And Sadie's is in the same position. So she understands why they're both back there. And she's like, there's nothing like being back home. And, Keyshawn is putting that makeup on that sore, man, on her face is still there. Uncle Clifford is pissed off. He's like, I'm out of here. Took her stuff, went to the car, and just is crying from frustration, tries to call the hospital, can't get in contact with grandmother. It's just upset. And who do we hear? We hear Beulah's voice like, baby, who I got to beat up now, right? And just Uncle Clifford sees his mother in the rearview mirror. And it's awesome like, yeah, listen, just let the waterworks happen. But listen, we don't just cry, we get revenge. And this is what Beulah is telling Uncle Clifford. As Uncle Clifford is upset, it's like, yeah, you got to do something about it. Pretty much stop crying and yeah, let's make this thing happen. You got to do whatever you got to do. So Uncle Clifford looks in the back at his stuff that he took out, and he's just looking back there like, okay, trying to think about what he can do in order to change the situation. Now we are finally at the funeral of Big Teak, and all of the brothers, they're paying their respects. Little Murder goes in there. Definitely Wody hooked him up, made him look good, casket fresh. And Little Murder slides him one last note with lyrics on it, probably dedicated to him and their relationship and then everything else like that. Just so he can rest in peace, and he does the whole nose thing, like they do. They whole, little nose thing. So, yeah, your boy Little Murder is definitely upset about that whole situation. And, yeah, your boy definitely is going out, looking as good as he can. But, yeah, Little Murder, clearly upset. Nobody really knows about the depth of their relationship. And he's a pauper, and everybody's crying. You know what it is, right? And they put him in that same hearse that they was going on tour with. So yeah, it's definitely a sad moment, but now it's about to turn up. So they like, yo, Murder, come over here. And we see Pico on the IG talking a whole lot of crap about Big Teak and how he took him out. And yeah, if anybody mess with my clique, blah, 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 blah. And they being real disrespectful, talking about Big Teak and how they took Big Teak out, which is a total lie, right? And they're like, yeah, these young boys need to be taught a lesson. One guy's like, yeah, I heard, and then he gets cut off. So they like, listen, it don't matter. He disrespecting our clique, disrespecting our brother. You basically got to take care of it, Murder. Like, do what you do, right? They're not saying it, but you could tell. And this is probably what he's whispering in his ear. Yo, take care of this dude. So they do their symbol, and it is what it is. And we're going to see what happens next. Now we see your girl, Miss Mississippi, back on the pole, doing her thing. I mean, she ain't lose it because she was still dancing on tour and everything. And yeah, Haley's looking on, being the boss that she is. Meanwhile, your girl Mercedes is doing all types of crazy stuff, but it's just not looking good. And even Big Bone is like, well, dang, that don't look good, don't sound good. And the young girls, they looking on like, yeah, that's terrible. But they like, yo, Miss Mississippi is so beautiful, right? And Mercedes is looking at that and then stepping in front of her and just trying to still be in the spotlight. We see the competition going on. And both of the girls whispering, Roulette is like, yo, I hope that's not us, when we get older. And Roulette's like, that ain't going to be us. That is not going to be us. And that's why you need to take this dude up on that offer, so you can get more money out there with him than you getting in here. And she's like, yeah, I'm still thinking about it or whatever. She's like, you need to stop playing because there's a lot of money out there. Roulette, she does extracurricular activities. And she probably does get way more than, just dancing up in the club, right? But they, again, admiring Miss Mississippi. And Roulette is staying on Whisper like, yo, you need to do this, right? So she's like, let me see that necklace. She's like, is Whisper going to make more money outside than inside the club? And she's like, yeah. So she's like, stop playing with my connection. You know what I'm saying? I see you, right? So they looking on and they're just like, man, this is terrible. This just looks bad. Haley's like, Mercedes, you are not ready. Come in. You're not ready to do this. You're not ready to be the headliner for real. Like your shoulder's still healing. And Mercedes about to go off on Haley, and then she gets that gummy bear ringtone. And you know who that is. That's Terica. She's like, baby girl, calm down. I'm going to be right there. And then she runs out. Haley knows she ain't ready. So that's why she got Miss Mississippi, and it's going to go down. Now, here we go. Shell is angry because, Mercedes took Terica and they got that abortion. She's like, how you going to do that? And she's like, well, she came to me. She didn't come to you. You know what I'm saying? She didn't come to you. And she's like, well, if my legs were spread open, with boys, I would come to you. You'd be the first choice anyway. And she's like, listen, why did she come to me? And stop trying to be a comedian. Like, what's going on. And Terica's like, Mom. And they both like, huh? It's like, yeah, nah, she talking to me. And she's like, listen, let's go home. And she's like, yeah, I've been here. I've been her mother all these years. And she's like, yeah, but you wasn't there when she really needed you. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to drive home. And I'm going to drive Shell home, because Shell is still drunk. And she's like, yeah, you taught me how to drive, so I'm going to drive home. So they just, Terica walks out and takes Shell home because, it's just crazy what's going on as far as that situation. So Uncle Clifford goes and talks to Corbin while he's on the cotton fields and says, hey, listen, one lesson I learned from grandmother is that you got to bring, the water to you if you can't get to the water. Basically saying that, if you want to get Pastor Woodbine out of the race, she definitely will move for money, right? So we'll see what happens with that. Now the pregame starts, and your girl Whisper is about to take this dude up on his offer. So they are in the hotel room. And she gets this whole vibe and it's like weird and stuff. She's like, yo, I just caught a bad vibe about this dude. This is not good. And Roulette is like, yo, calm down. We're going to get this quick money real quick. It's going to be easy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm right here. I got your back if anything crazy goes down. So here comes Goofy Guy. He comes through. He's like, yeah, if I'm going to get a 2-for-1, And Roulette is like, you ain't getting no 2 for 1. You're going to get what you paid for. That's it. And it is what it is. And of course, Whisper is not feeling this. She's kind of nervous about it, but it is what it is. And Roulette is like, listen, I'm staying right here just in case your corny ass want to try something crazy, right? So they about to get it popping, and it is what it is. Meanwhile, back at the house, we seeing, Godfather's picture. And Dre is just trying to figure out what's going to go down. That commercial is still playing on TV over and over and over. And he's looking at a check, and it's a check from, your girl, Lakeisha Savage, a.k.a. Haley Colton, for $10,000. And guess who shows up at the door with moonshine? Haley shows up with moonshine. It's like, yeah, I figured you needed some of this. So they sitting down and talking about everything, and and she's like, yeah, at least you had a dad, that's locked up that you knew about, right? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, because they're talking about how, yeah, he didn't tell the truth. And she's like, listen, you about to be the next man. Don't even worry about none of that. You know how many people got lies out here and everything. And she's really trying to let him know that he needs to still run, but he's thinking like it's all over for him in the whole nine. So he's like, yeah, I had a good time that other night, I want Haley again. So he tries to kiss her. And she backs off and she's like, listen, I can't give you Haley, but I can give you some autumn night. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty twisted off of this moonshine. He's like, yeah, well, I need to do some type of fundraising because, it looks like he's not going to get back anymore. So she calls Brazil and says, hey, can you cook up whatever, whatever, whatever? She's like, yeah, I need you to do it right now. So we're going to see what that phone call was about. Meanwhile, your girl Whisper is getting busy with the dude, and your girl Roulette is in the bathroom. She is playing Candy Crush, right? So she playing on some Candy Crush, and she is obviously killing it, popping her gum, doing her thing. And then she celebrates because she's like, yeah, who's the queen of Candy Crush? Like, she's having her own good time in that bathroom. Meanwhile, everything's over. He throws the money on the ground for Whisper to pick up. And she's like, yo, this is supposed to be, a certain amount, And he's like, yo, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it's going to be is going to be. Roulette comes out like, yo, we got a problem here. Like, what's going on? Like, oh, he shorted me 200. And she's like, yo, why don't you just pay her, man? Just pay the full amount. He's like, well, I did all the work, da-da-da-da. And she don't know how to moan and all this and that. And she's like, well, I had to fake all that, man. I could tell from your vibe, you are not the type of guy to please any type of woman at all. So Roulette started laughing. They start laughing, and she started laughing with Roulette. Next thing you know, this dude grabbed her by the neck. Like, what you say? Say one more thing. Say one more thing, right? Now he want to be all thuggish and all this and that. Roulette come out with the strap like, yo, we got a problem, son. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? We going to play my favorite game, right? We gonna play my favorite game, and I'm gonna show you why they call me Roulette, right? So he's like, oh wait, chill, all right, right? He's like, oh, you think this is a game? Yeah, we gonna play this game, right? And we see why they call her Roulette. Roulette is off the meat rack, like she's crazy for real. He's like, yo, just chill. She takes the strap, puts it to her head, click, nothing goes off. He's like, yo, chill. Even Whisper kind of like scared and nervous or whatever. She's like, yeah, you gonna play this game with me now. You thought you was the man, huh? You thought you was the man. She's like, you know what? I want you to take off your clothes right now. And Whisper's like, yeah, she said take off your clothes, right? So take off his clothes. He on the floor. And then, yeah, your girl Roulette takes the strap and does some things to your boy. Like, yeah, who got the DSLs now, right? So they run out of there with their stuff, with his clothes, and they haul ass and take his car as well. They are gone. Now we see Pico coming out the corner store, right? Yeah, he's looking like everything is all good, thinking everything is all sweet. He's giving pounds to his boys in the hood or whatever. Yo, what's up, Pico? They probably praising him for that stupid ass video, right? Because he was fronting like he's the one that took out Big T. So he's walking through, whatever, in the back alleys, and he gets a phone call from his kids. He's like, yo, daddy, when you coming home? He's like, I'm coming home now. You should be in the bed. And it sounded like a real, like, little kid or whatever, right? So here go, dude in the darkness with the hood on. As Pico's getting off the phone, he's like, baby boy, what's going on? Coming through like he James St. Patrick, you know what I mean? on some ghosts, right? So he's like, yo, little murder. Like, yo, I don't want no problems, man. I don't want no problems, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I don't want no problems. Like, nah, you the one that was fronting on that video, man. Like, you took out Big Teak, man. You know, you ain't see him slumped over with blood and everything coming out of his head and, you know, him barely trying to breathe and the whole nine. Like, you front. He's like, yo, man, I was just trying to get clout, man. I was just fronting on the video, man. I got kids, man. I got a 6-year-old and a newborn. He about to be 6. And Little Murder knows his kids. And he's like, word? And for a moment, I'm thinking Murder is not going to do anything, right? But he looks up at him and says, you know what? I'm going to tell your son that you loved him. Boom. Lights his ass up. And yeah, your boy Pico is now gone, right? All this time we thinking Pico going to get at Little Murder. Nah, Pico was fronting. He's the little B, right? And we see Murder, man. I tell you, they call him Murder for a reason, B. Little Murder is no joke, right? No joke. Totally different person. So Mercedes rolls up to the block party. You know, she's trying to get to her house. And, you know, Maine is just like, yo, everybody get out the way. Get out the way. Let the queen come through. Let the queen come through, right? So she goes into her driveway. And, yeah, Maine goes to greet her at her door. And he's like, hey, I see you made it. So, you know, Sadie's comes out looking all good, you know. And she's like, yeah, you guys know how to party, right? Y'all doing your thing. And he's happy to see her. You know, they about to get it popping, have a good time. Next thing you know, they're like, yo, Maine, somebody lit up Pico, da-da-da-da. So now they about to go, see what's going on. And she stops Maine like, yo, man, you just got out. You still got that ankle bracelet situation. They don't got that situation. Let them handle it, right? So she takes him to the back of her house. They out there, you know, the mosquitoes is biting on your boy Maine. And she's like, yeah, that's because you got sweet blood and all this and that. So, you know, they go out back and they get to talking. And instead of it being on some like romantic type of level, Mercedes starts to talk to Maine about, you know, what do you need to do to get over, you know, somebody being smoked, right? Because she talks about the whole Montavia situation. At first, I thought she was talking about her taking Terica and the abortion. But no, she was talking about the whole Montavia situation because she's the one that pulled that trigger. And now she's having trauma from that. So she's asking him because he knows about taking people out. And he's like, yeah, you'll never get over it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to, you know, try to create new moments to get past the old moments. And then now he's like, listen, you know, it's time for us to create a new moment, right? So he's trying to take it to a romantic type of level. Meanwhile, she's still kind of traumatized and upset. And, you know, she kind of pulls away from him and the whole nine and takes his hand away. And she's like, yeah, I'm not really looking for that right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody to kind of talk to and confide in. And, you know, she's like, well, I hope you find what you're looking for. And, you know, puts her hand on his shoulder like it's going to be all right. And then he skates up out of there. Now we at the grave site of Say's, right? And we see Uncle Clifford talking to his mama. And Uncle Clifford's just like pouring out Henny for his mama. He's like, yeah, you never was the type to mind your business or whatever. But Uncle Clifford is really on some like, I'm just sorry I haven't been here because I'm failing right now. And Uncle Clifford feels like a failure, which is understandable because things are just not going the way that Uncle Clifford wants it to go. But he's going to visit Beulah. And he's praying that grandmother Ernestine makes it through as well. So just going through a traumatic moment right now. Now we're looking at the TV and we see Pastor Woodbine, and she is televising her preaching and all this and that, fundraising, doing fundraisers for the campaign, and people coming through sending $100. He said Shaquille O'Neal sent $3,800 or something like that. That's what he said. Crazy, right? Crazy. And then she's preaching and doing all this and that, doing her thing, and donations are coming in. And the lady's like, oh my God, somebody just sent a huge donation, right? And then they're like, what happened? Pastor Woodbine looks on the screen, and somebody sent $10,000 for Pastor Woodbine. They're like, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. And the message is, cash me outside, right? That's the message. So Pastor Woodbine's like, what the heck? All right. So we go outside, and who do we see? Corbin is outside spreading that money as he usually does, right? Got all this money. And he's like, hey, listen, I'm going to need you to drop out of the race, right? She's like, listen, I don't need to drop out of nothing. I'm trailing y'all, da 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 da. He's like, listen. And they go back and forth with some quotes or whatever. And he's like, you don't really want to be mayor. That's not your calling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what it is. Like, we know you doing this out of spite. And he grabs her hand and gives her a whole stack of bread in this envelope. He's like, listen, it's way more where that came from. I just need you to pray on it so you can get out of the race. And she opens that envelope, and yeah, it's a stack, probably like 10,000 right there. He's like, I got way more where that's coming from. So we're going to see what she does, because she moves off of money anyway. Meanwhile, your girl Roulette takes that dude's car to the chop shop. Who's in the chop shop? Duffy's in the chop shop. And you know your boy Duffy, he do everything, boy. Your boy Duffy is into everything. He's the hustler's hustler. But he definitely is feeling Roulette. And he's like, yo, you want me to chop this up? She's like, yeah. He's like, you sure it's not hot? You sure nobody gonna come after it? Not even whatever the dude's name is, Taylor, whatever. And she's like, nah, you know, by the way he got his stuff taken, he ain't gonna come looking for it at all. So he's like, where should I drop it off? She's like, down in the valley. You know the rest. Right? So she look at her strap and she opens it up. It's a revolver. And yeah, look at that. One round is up in there. Like, seriously, she was playing that game. And that's why they call her Roulette, because she got a screw loose and she is crazy, right? She is crazy. Then we see your boy, Little Murder. He up in the booth. It's time to get busy. I don't know if he's in Atlanta or not, but that just happened. So he probably somewhere in Chucalissa, got the ring with the blood on his hand still from spraying dude. And yeah, he is ready to drop some lyrics, get all his frustration out from the death of Big Teak, and now taking out Pico. And yeah, we're going to see what Murder is going to drop on these lyrics. Maybe he's going to let everybody know what's going down. Maybe he's ready to come out. You guys drop your comments below. Let me know what you think Murder is going to be rapping about in the next episode of P-Valley. So that's episode 8, recap of P-Valley season 2. Family, drop your thoughts, your theories. What do you think is going to happen? Is he going to come out finally and let the world know what exactly he truly is? I mean, what's going to happen? What's going to be the repercussion of him taking out Pico? Fam, drop your comments below. Listen, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Do me another favor, hit that like button. And yes, I appreciate you all for watching. Definitely a great episode. 9 and 10 is going to be even crazier. If you appreciate this video and like this video, definitely check out this next one. Till next time, salute.